So you leave your 9 to 5 completely drained, completely checked out, and maybe emotionally exhausted. And now you're supposed to come home and build a business, run a side hustle, be productive. I know, right? It sounds like a lot. And honestly, it is a lot. But here's what I've learned after years of burning out, overcommitting, and finally figuring out a system that actually works for my life. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what's right for you. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I structure my after work time blocks so I can stay consistent with my side hustle without destroying my health, my peace, or my sanity. So let me be real with you for a second. A few years ago, I was that person who gave everything to my 9 to 5 job and had absolutely nothing left for myself. I'll come home, sit on the couch, and binge Netflix or Hulu. And that's not because I did not care about my goals. It's just because I was drained. I was so exhausted. And even during that, at the back of my mind, I was always like, this cannot be my life. I really want to be fulfilled outside of my 9 to 5 job, right? I want to find something else that fulfills me. Not just giving all of my time, my energy, my everything to a 9 to 5 job, to corporate, who really, for the most part, don't really care about you, but something that fulfills me, uplifts me personally. And during the time when I was doing the Netflix and chill, I still felt this deep sense of guilt and restlessness. Like I was wasting my potential. At the back of my mind, that was always there. I'm wasting my potential. There's more I could be doing for myself. So I did what a lot of us do. I overcorrected. I started posting on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on TikTok. I had a blog. I wanted to start a YouTube channel. I started a podcast, and I became a part-time social media manager. And all of this was happening all at once. And what happened is I worked on my side hustle every single day after work, including the weekends. I was basically working all the time except when I was sleeping. And if you think about it, that's really not sustainable at all. And can you guess what happened next? Burnout. Bad. Like it was so bad that 2 years after, I was diagnosed with high blood pressure. Now that was my wake-up call. And that's what led me to build a system that I'm about to share with you today. So if you've ever wondered how to realistically fit in a side hustle into your already packed schedule, then this video is for you. Before we go ahead, I'm going to give you a tool that's going to make everything that I shared today 10 times more actionable. I created my 7-step weekly reset blueprint that's going to help you to plan your entire week, including your side hustle block, so you never sit down one evening after work wondering what you should be working on. The link is in the description box below, or simply comment weekly reset and I'm going to send it to you. So let's dive into the mindset shift, right? What an actual after work routine should look like. And here's the thing I want to address right away. This video is not going to give you a standard routine to copy, because your 9 to 5 or your 6 to 10 or your 7 to 11, whatever that looks like for you, depends entirely on your responsibilities, your energy, your capacity, your own real life. And one of the biggest lessons I had to learn the hard way is this: you have to be realistic about your capacity, both time-wise and energy-wise. There are 2 things that you need to honestly acknowledge before you can build a routine that actually sticks. The first thing is there are certain things you're going to have to give up or adjust if you want to pursue or start a side hustle alongside with your 9 to 5 job. And this is not forever. This is just for some time, just for a season. And the second thing is the amount of progress you make towards a side hustle is going to depend on your other responsibilities. And that, my friends, is perfectly okay. So please stop comparing yourself with people online who seem to be doing it all, because you do not have their life, you do not have their team, their time, or their circumstances. I had to learn this the hard way when I was chasing people who said I make 10K a month doing XYZ, without realizing that I did not have the same bandwidth to achieve that within the same time frame that they were promising. And one more important distinction: your routine is gonna look completely different depending on where you work and when you work. If you commute to and from the office, you need to account for that commute time when you are figuring out your capacity. And that's because that travel time is real. You cannot miss it, and you cannot not account for that, because it takes your time, of course, and actually drains your energy. Imagine just sitting in traffic for 30 minutes to an hour. That drains you. So that takes up your energy. So you need to account for that once you are trying to figure out your capacity. So the very first step to my time blocking system for after work starts with a transition activity. The very first thing you want to do after work is you want to transition into maybe your work mode or side hustle mode, however you want to call it, you need to figure out what that transition activity is going to look like for you, because that is so important. You do not want to miss this. This is a non-negotiable. And this is important because you need to leave work at work, right? Emotionally, mentally, energetically, physically, right? You need to mentally know that I am no longer at work. I'm no longer at my 9 to 5. I'm at home, and using a transition activity is going to help shift you from that space of 9 to 5 work to your own you time for your side hustle. So your transition activity could look like you making dinner, you taking a walk, you taking a shower, maybe taking care of family responsibilities. All of those can count as your transition activities. And also know that how long it takes is also going to vary depending on you, your responsibilities, your life, right? And that is perfectly okay. The point is you are not jumping straight from your 9 to 5 to your side hustle. Your brain needs a gear shift, right? So you need to give yourself that. Now I'm curious, what is your favorite way to decompress after work? Are you take a hot shower for a couple of minutes after work? Or are you the kind of person that needs to maybe sit on the couch and just be quiet and calm and relaxed for about 15 minutes? Or are you the person that works out, right? For me, I am the eating dinner kind of person and then taking a walk. So that has worked for me because I eat mostly once a day. If you watch a lot of my videos, I have talked about this. I eat once a day, and it's when I come back from work. Once I come back from work, I am famished. So the first thing that I do, I already have packed my meals. I usually do meal prep for the whole week. So I have my meals in the fridge. I just go get it and make my dinner, eat, and then go take a walk. And after that, I can then get into my side hustle if that is a day that I am working on my side hustle. After taking a shower, of course. Let me know in the comments, what kind of transition do you do? What is your favorite transition activity? It doesn't have to be the same thing every single day. Again, depending on your life, your schedule, your routine. What is your own favorite transition activity? I'd love to know. Now, once the transition period is over, you need to know what you are actually sitting down to do. And this is so you do not waste time trying to figure that out. And this is where my weekly reset blueprint comes in. It helps you assign specific tasks to your weekly side hustle blocks so you can eliminate decision fatigue. So make sure you grab that using the link in the description box, or simply comment weekly resets down below and I'm going to send it to you. Now, step 2 is you knowing that you do not have to work on your side hustle every single day. This might surprise you, but it is the most important mindset shifts that I made. I highly recommend that you do not do that. Do not work on your side hustle every single day after work. I used to work on my side hustle every single day after work and on Saturdays and even sometimes on Sundays, because I would always think there's more to do. Why am I just relaxing? Why am I just sitting? And even when I sit down and try to maybe watch TV or not do anything, mentally I am still thinking about the things that I need to get done. So I wasn't really resting because my brain was still at 100%. So I was always in that cycle of work, except when I had a commitment that would drag me away from work. And let me tell you, that was exhausting. It was so exhausting, so draining. It was a lot. And that is the reason why I started trying to figure out, okay, I need a better system, because it just wasn't working. I got to that point where I was like, I cannot live like this. This makes no sense. I need to figure out a system that is going to work for me. So what I did was I figured out a system where I was able to work 3 nights a week, like weekdays, and then some Saturdays. That's it. And the beauty about this is I became more consistent, more focused, more productive than I ever was when I was pretty much grinding every single night. And the reason is because when you have limited time, you are very particular about what you are spending that time on. You're very intentional about what you choose to do, right? And so you have no choice but to apply the 80-20 rule and simply delete or eliminate the things that are just busy work. Because of course, 20% of your tasks produce 80% of your output. So what you want to do is you want to choose your days intentionally and then block them on your calendar. It is not enough for you to just say, I'm going to work on maybe Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. I'm going to work on Tuesday and Thursday, right? You want to actually block that out on your calendar So it is there, and you set that reminder so you know every day when you look at your calendar, you see that this specific time or the specific days are days that I have dedicated to work on my side hustle after work. You want to treat them like appointments that you cannot cancel on yourself. Now, step 3 is you want to know your tasks before you sit down. Here's what used to destroy my momentum, is sitting down to work and then spending the next 20 to 30 minutes trying to figure out what to work on. That right there is decision fatigue in real time, right? And that is one of the most annoying silent productivity killers. So here's the key. Before your side hustle block actually begins, you should already know what task you are going to be working on, what you're going to be completing during that block. Your task or your job, your action during that block, it's not to plan, it is to execute. And this is exactly what my 7-step weekly reset blueprint helps you do. You plan your week in advance, so when Monday evening or your first day where you choose to work on your side hustle within the week, when that day comes, you're not scrambling, right? You're just getting to work. You're doing what you planned already to do. You're executing. So make sure you go down to the link in the description box below to download the guide, or you can simply comment weekly reset down below and I'll send it to you. Now, step 4 in creating your own realistic after work time block system or time blocking system is you want to eliminate all and every distractions. All right, now for me, I'm going to give you my own system, what I do. And this might sound a little bit counterintuitive for those of us who like learning, right? During your side hustle block, stop listening to podcasts, stop watching YouTube videos, stop watching TV. Right? Don't do that. The truth is, if you only have 1 to 2 focused hours per block that you dedicate on your side hustle, maybe you do Tuesdays and Thursdays, but those days you have 1 to 2 hours every single block, you can't really afford to split your attention. You want to ensure that you are staying focused and executing in order to really maximize the time that you have. So you want to be completely locked in on the tasks that you have in front of you, regardless of whether it's a low energy or high energy task. Now, I'm not saying never listen to podcasts or watch YouTube videos, right? I'm saying you want to do that on the days when you're not really working on your side hustle, or during your commute, or while you're doing something passive, doing meal prep, or folding laundry, or cleaning, because during this kind of passive, what I call maintenance tasks, that is when you are actually allowed to multitask. And one more thing, during your side hustle blocks, you want to dedicate those blocks to one task at a time, just one thing per block, full stop. And you might think, how can I do just one task per block? I have 2 hours, I cannot just do one task. So I'm going to simplify that for you. Instead of piling multiple tasks into one block, what you want to do is you want to task batch, right? You want to batch your tasks. And that is simply you grouping similar tasks within one block, so you are not constantly switching gears. And the final step here to this system is you protecting your rest days like your life depended on it. So on the days that you do not dedicate to work on your side hustle, please try as much as possible, try hard as much as possible not to work on your side hustle, not to even think about your side hustle. I so mean that. I am speaking out of experience. Please don't do it. Don't open the laptop just for a second to check up this task. Don't write down that one email. Like I said, try as much as possible not to even think about your side hustle. If an idea pops up in your head, you should have a system where you can just write it down, maybe on your phone or in the notes app on your phone. Just write it down and forget about it, right? Do not focus on it, think about it, try to elaborate on it. The idea is there just so you can brainstorm on that at a later time when you have set up a dedicated block for your side hustle. So write it down somewhere, maybe in a notebook, whatever your system is, or in the notes pad in your phone, and then forget about it. Focus on not doing anything at all. So what you want to do is during your rest days, you want to focus on actually relaxing, not just physically, but mentally too, right? You want to just focus on relaxing and do nothing. Or you can simply, like, you have different activities that you can do depending on everybody, right? Everybody has different things that they do that relaxes them. So whatever that activity is for you, you can do that. to relax you so you are not focusing on work or on your side hustle, or you can simply just do nothing. If that is what is gonna make you not think about your side hustle or even your 9 to 5 job, do that. Because here's the thing, right? This is the secret to not burning out. A system that has rest built in is a sustainable system. And sustainability is what leads to long-term consistency. Now, I know this might sound ironic, but when you protect your rest days, when you actually rest, what happens is you're looking forward to your work day, right? Maybe not your 9 to 5 job, but if you are doing something that excites you for your side hustle or even your 9 to 5 job, you're actually looking forward to it. On sometimes even the people that you work with. For my 9 to 5, I used to look forward to the people that I work with. I loved my team. I love the people that I work with, but not necessarily the company or the job or the client, but I love the people that I work with. And I also did love my side hustle. So you look forward to working on your side hustle. If you do not even love your 9 to 5, but you look forward to working towards this dream of yours that is finally progressing, right? You're seeing you're actually taking action on this thing. So the days that you rest, if you really rest and not just keep going, you look forward to the days that you actually have to spend some time and be creative and pour into your side hustle. You are able to show up clearer, more focused, and more motivated. You're not dragging yourself to the laptop because you're exhausted. You're actually energized because you give yourself permission to breathe. Now, I have lived both versions of this, right? The version where I grinded myself into exhaustion to the point where I was diagnosed with high blood pressure, and the version where I included rest into my system and I was able to actually enjoy the process of me exploring my creativity, building my dreams, doing my side hustle. So choose rest. It will not slow you down. It will actually speed you up. And I want to add this last thing here, right? Just stay for this because this is a very important thing that might be the most important thing you take away from this video. The most important principle that guides everything that I do, and that is my productivity system, my content, and honestly my life, is this idea of contentment. There was a time when I wanted a 50K job a year. I got that. And then I wanted a job that would pay me 100K a year. And then when I hit that, I wanted more, right? And that's when I really understood, like I've always been hearing about contentment, even like from church, but it was this point that it really hit me where I learned that if I don't learn to be content right now, I will never ever be able to enjoy my wins no matter how big they get. Contentment doesn't mean you stop being ambitious, right? It just means that even as an ambitious person, you are at peace at every stage of your journey. You recognize your progress, you appreciate your small wins, and you do not let comparisons steal your focus. Now, this is what I want for you, right? Not a perfect routine, not someone else's system, but a system that actually supports your life and that allows you to pursue your goals with peace and not panic. So take everything we talked about today, the transition activity, the designated side hustle days, your task planning, your rest, and put that all into a real weekly plan using my 7-step weekly reset blueprint. It will walk you through how to plan your week so that your after work hours actually work for you. No more decision fatigue, no more wasted evenings, just a simple intentional plan that matches your life. This approach changed my evenings and I genuinely believe that it's going to change yours too. Thank you so much for watching. If this video is helpful, please make sure you like the video, subscribe to this channel, share with someone who needs a productivity boost and who needs to build their own after work routine and time block based on their energy, based on what works for their life and their capacity and their responsibilities. Make sure you watch the video on the screen next, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye.